Welcome to our lecture 2 on group data calculation. The previous section we looked at ungrouped data, where we looked at how to calculate the mean, mode, the median, and the quartiles. Just a quick recap on what we discussed. When we're dealing with ungrouped data, we're looking at information that is not what put in clusters. For instance, you have 2, 3, 3, 4, 7, 5, 4, 7, 8, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So this is what is called ungrouped data. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 data units. So for ungrouped data, we need to understand the key parameters. There's what we call the range. The range is simply the difference between the highest number, which is x max, and the smallest number, which is x min. So the difference between these two. So 9 minus 2, our range is 7. So this is what we call the range. When we divide this range by 2, we call it the mid-range. So the range is simply the difference between the highest value and the lowest value. So this is 9 minus 2, which is equal to 7. And we also have what we call the mode. The mode is simply the highest frequency. The highest frequency that is high, the mode of the highest frequency. Which number appears the most? We have 3. So 3 is the highest frequency. So this is when you're dealing with ungrouped data. So like you can see, the first thing that you needed to do is to rearrange your data in ascending order. Sometimes your data may be disorganized. Then we also have what we call the median. The median is simply the middle number. The middle number here is half of n plus 1. Our n is the number of elements we have. Our n is 7. So we have 7 digits. So we have 7 plus 1 is 8. So half of 8 is 4. So the fourth position is your mid or your median. So 1, 2, 3, 4. Our fourth position coincidentally is 4. Our median is the second quartile, which is the fourth position, which is equal to 4. Yes. Then we have what we call the lower quartile. The lower quartile is simply Q1. The lower quartile is simply Q1. It is also called the first quartile. So to find the lower quartile, it is a quarter. A quarter of n plus 1. So our n was 7. 7 plus 1 is 8. The quarter of 8 is 2. The second number, which is a position 2, we're going to get when we arrange them there. Second position here is 2 here. So this is Q2, Q1, which is lower quartile. This is Q2. Okay, so the second position here is what? 3. 3. So quartiles simply give you positions. All right. What did I say the second quartile was? What did I say the second quartile was? The second quartile was the median. And what was the formula for the median? Half of n plus 1. And n is the number of elements we have. So our element is what? 7. When we add a 1 to the 7, we got 8. The half of the 8 was what? 4. The fourth position we found coincidentally it was what? It was 4. third quartile is also called the upper quartile. What is the formula for the upper quartile? Upper quartile is given by 3/4 of n plus 1. So our n was 7. 7 plus 1 gave us 8. 3/4 of 8 gives you the 60th position. So we go to this and look for the 60th position. So who can tell us what is 60th for the 60th position here? What's the actual answer?
8.
8. So our 8 is called our Q3. Now the quartiles also have the range between the first and the last quartile. The name is called the interquartile range. So the interquartile range is simply given by quartile number 3 minus quartile number 1. So what is quartile number 3 according to what we have found?
8.
Quartile number 3 is what? 8. And what is quartile
8.
number 1?
3.
3. So when we subtract 8 minus 3, what do we get?
5.
5. Good. So half of the interquartile range is called the semi-quartile deviation. Half of the quartile range is called the semi-quartile deviation. So when we find half of 5, what we're going to get is what? 2.5. All right. So we are also able to draw what is called the box whisker diagram. We need only 5 things. Number 1, the smallest number of x, which is x min. Number 2, the Q1. Number 3, the Q2. Number 4, the Q3. Number 5, the x max. This is called the what? Box whisker diagram. So what is our Q1? 3.
1 is 3.
Our Q2?
4.
4.
Our Q3?
8.
8.
Our smallest value was what?
3.
3.
Our smallest value,
Oh, 2. 2.
x max was what? 9.
No.
For the box whisker. Finally, we looked at how to find the mean and the variance and the standard deviation. So we change the figures 2, 4, 6, 8. When you're given figures like these ones here, you total them. What is 2 plus 4? 6. 6 plus 6, 12. 12 plus 8 is 20. This is called summation of what? X.
Summation of x.
Then n is the number of elements we have. 1, 2, 3, 4.
1, 2, 3,
N
4.
was 4. And when you square these ones, let's square these. What do we get when you square these? 2 squared, 4. 4 squared, 16. 6 squared, 36. And 8 squared, 64. When we add this, it is called summation of x squared, which is 120. So you'll be asked to find 3 things or 4 things. Number 1, the mean. The formula for the mean is summation of x over n. The symbol for the mean is x bar. So what is summation of x? 20. And what is our n? 4. So when you divide 20 divided by 4, Our mean is 5. Then we have what we call the variance. The variance is simply given by the symbol s squared. And the formula x squared minus summation of x to the power 2 over n, everything over n minus 1. So here, summation of x squared is 120. And summation of x is what? 20. The power 2. Now n is what? 4. Everything over 4 minus 1. So 20 squared is simply 20 times 20 divided by 4. So one of the 20 will be what? A 5. 5 times 20 is 100. So this one here will give us 100. So 120 minus 100, we get 20. Then 4 minus 1, we get a 3. So when you divide this, our variance becomes what? 6.667. Then to find our standard deviation, we square root the variance. So the square root of the variance, what is the square root of 6.67? Square root of 6.67, and we get
2.582.
2.582. Correct. Then to find the coefficient of variation, it's simply the standard deviation over the mean times 100. Standard deviation over the mean times 100. 2.582 divided by the mean over 5 times 100. And we get 2.582 divided by 5 times 100. We get 51.64%. So this is what is called ungrouped data. This is what is called ungrouped data. So I'll go to group data, but before I go to group data, that's on what recap I have. I'll give you the following data sets: 7, 4, 5, 4, 6, 8, 9, 3, 6. And 9, 3, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. So number 1, find all measures of dispersion and variation. Find all measures of dispersion and variation. Number 2, draw the box whisker plot. Draw the box whisker plot. So just based on what I have explained, this I'll give you 15 marks. This one I'll give you 5 marks. So all the measures of dispersion, maybe even what I have not even mentioned. Find the mode, median, Q1, Q2, Q3, the range, the mid-range, the IQR, the coefficient of variation, coefficient of skewness. I need you just to follow everything I have done. If you missed any of the things I explained, I'll send you the video to follow up. You can get a screenshot of this. So now, sometimes the data may be put in groups. It is now called group data. That is our lecture number 2. So in group data, we're going to look at the mean, we're going to look at the mode, we're going to look at the median, these 3, and also we'll look at the quartiles and the interquartile range. To start with, whenever data is put in this arrangement, this is called what? Groups data. Now, this data that you're seeing here is a frequency distribution for the number of orders received the past 50 days. So 10 to 12 at 4, 13 to 15 we had 12, 16 to 18 we had 20, and 19 to 21 we had 14. So we'll be asked firstly to draw a frequency distribution graph, frequency distribution table. So to start with, the frequency has been given here, 4, 4, 20, and 14. X is a midpoint. We need to add a lower bound, which is L, and the upper bound, which is U. So 10 plus 12 is 22. Divided by 2, we get 11. That is how we find that. All right. Then 13 plus 15, what do we get? 28. Divided by 2, we get 14. 16 plus 18, we get 34. Divided by 2, 17. 19 plus 21 divided by 2, we get 20. So this is called our what? Our midpoint. So after finding the midpoint, when you multiply f x, 44, 12 times 14, 168, 20 times 17, 340, and 14 times 20 to 8. When you add it, this is called summation of what? Fx. So when you divide summation of fx divided by n, the total frequency is called n. Or if you want, you can simply say summation of fx here. So once we divide 832 divided by 50, what we get is the mean. What we get is the mean. Anyone lost at this point? Please ask. Okay. So the same question, we are now going to construct what is called the median. So first thing, we need to construct what is called the cumulative frequency distribution. Then we will decide where the median will fall, and we will divide at least half of the total n. So let's go back to the same diagram here. The table, we have 1 to 10, 11 to 20, 1 to 30, 1 to 40, 1 to 50, and we're given the frequency. So firstly, we need to find what is called the cumulative frequency column. So cumulative frequency is an add-on column. So we start with the 8 here, add on. When we add 8 to 14, what are we getting?
22.
22. We add the 22 to 12, what are we getting?
34.
34. We add the 34 to 9.
43.
43. Then we add 43 to 7.
50.
50, good. So this is how we get the cumulative frequency column. Now middle or median means, so this 50 is the same total which comes here. This must be 50. So to find the median, firstly, we find half of 50. What is half of 50? 25.
25.
So you go in this column here, you look for a number where 50 will fall in, where 25 will fall in. So where is 25? Is there 25 here? No. Is there 25 here? No. But here there's 25, right? Okay, so 25 will be somewhere here in the middle. So he uses L. The number above this one is called FC. The number next to this is called the FM, the frequency. Then we go this line, our L will be the lower bound. I repeat, we said you get your 25, 50 divided by 2, because median means half 25. And you go where the median class will fall. So here, where the number is equal to 25 or this exceeds 25, so it is on the 34. All right. Which number is equal to? Which number is equal to 25 or this exceeds 25? 34. So you draw your invisible arrow here. The number above 34 is called your FC. The number next to 34 is called your FM. The lower bound is here. It is 21. So we have our FM, which is 12, which is the actual frequency. Then our FC is 22. The lower bound is what? 21. But if this 21 is not the same as that, you subtract 0.5 from this one here. Okay. So this will be our LM. Okay. Then our height is simply the distance from here to here. Our height is simply the distance from here to here. Any questions this far before I proceed? Any questions? Okay, just to follow up, maybe to see whether you've understood. Looking at this data set here, what's the first thing we need to do? Okay, we need to find the cumulative frequency for this column here. So cumulative frequency, we start with the 4. What next number do we get here?
We add 12.
Pardon?
We're going to add 12 to 4.
We get what?
16.
Then
16, we add 20, 36.
we add 14 to get what? 50.
50, yes.
Then to find the median, what's the first thing we need to do? Divide the n by 2 to get what? 25.
25, then
Then what do we do with the 25? You go in this column, look for the number which is equal to 25 or best exceeds 25. What number is that?
36.
Yes, so you put your line here. Then we're going to identify 3 things. Number 1, the FC. Number 2, the FM. Number 3, the L and the height. So which one is our FC?
25. Oh, no.
FC. When you draw this,
The frequency.
this is the number. So FC is the number above this X. The next number to the F is FM. And the lower bound is the sign. So our X is 36. The number above 36 are FC. What number is that? 16, right?
Yes.
And the number next to the 36 is our FM. What number is that?
50.
Next here, like this, using this map. Our X is here. Above it is FC. Next to it is FM, which is what?
The FM is 20.
Pretty good. And our lower bound,
Lower bound is 16.
yeah, but we won't pick 16 because they're not the same as that. So we subtract the what?
So we are going to less it by 0.5.
Yeah, so we're going to have what? 15 points.
15.5.
And our height is from here to here, here to here.
Yes.
What's our height? 2. All right. So let's go back to this one here. So what did we do? We found the number half of 50 is 25. Which number is 25? This is what? 34. So this is our X. Above the 34, our FC is what? 22. Our FM is 12. And our lower bound
12.
is 20.5.
21.5. Actually, 20.5.
Yes. The height was what?
11.
Yes. The height was not 11, 10. The distance between here and here. Okay, it's 10.
Oh, okay, okay.
Then when we do that,
So to find the height, sorry, I've got a question. To find the height, you're supposed to consider the upper limit.
even this side, the distance from here to there, here to there.
Okay. Is it always the same?
Yes, it's always the same.
Okay.
Okay, so some people want to get the distance between these two, but this is not usually the same. Sometimes if you don't adjust these figures, it will give you a wrong number. 10 minus 1 is 9. So it's safer to get it from this or from this direction.
Okay.
So when we go here, we now calculate the median is LM, which is 20, which is 20.5. Okay, mistake, plus n over 2 is 25. Our FC was what? 22. And our FM was
22.
4. Times 10, we get our 24. This is how we find the median. And finally, how do we find the mode? When we are finding the quartiles, okay? When we're finding the quartiles before we go to the mode, we use the same formula, but except that here we're doing n minus n over 2. So this is for the median, which is Q2, n over 2. Then Q1 is n over what? 4. N over 2. N over 4 is Q1. And Q3 is 3n over 4. So the same procedure, let's try to use this over, find the Q1, then you also find the Q3. So the first thing what we do, cumulative frequency. Okay, somebody to answer, how do we come up with the cumulative frequency? Start with 8.
8, we add 14.
To get what?
Let me get the calculator.
22. Then
Plus 20, plus 12.
34.
Then
Plus 9. 43.
Then
50.
so the 50 is one which comes there. Then what we do, if it was median, would have divided by 2.
By 2.
But now since it's a first quartile, we're dividing by 4. So let's divide by 4. What is 50 divided by 4? So after we do this,
44.75.
good. When divided by 4, we get what?
44.75.
Make sure. 50 divided by 4.
Okay, let me do it again.
12.5.
12.5, good. So we go in
Yeah,
here.
12.5.
We look for a number which first exceeds 12.5. Which number is it?
22.
Good. Then we draw our margin line there. So 22 will be our x. So identify the FC, identify the FM, identify the L, identify the height quickly. Our x, we already know the x is 22. What is our FC?
22.
The number above the x is the FC. What is our FC? 8. Then what is our
The
FM?
number
The number
14.
means, huh? Look, when our x is here, our FC is there, our FM is here, and the lower bound is here. So what is our FM?
14.
14. And what is our L?
10.
10 point what?
10.5.
10.5.
Then what is our height?
10.
10. Correct. So that's what you do here. So 12.5 is the formula is our n over 4. So we found what? So n over 4, you already found 12.5. That's a 12.5 there. Our f was 8, f6 8, correct. Okay, then our fm 14, correct. Our height, then the lower bound is what? 10.5. So when you calculate, you find our Q1, which is what? Pardon? Is that a question or it's a background noise? Okay, so finally, let's go to the upper quartile. Upper quartile, the only difference is here we're going to have what? 3 quarters. 3 quarters. So let's start here. What is 3 quarters? Or 0.75. What is 3 quarters of 50? Okay. What is 0.75 times 50? Quickly. What is 0.75 times 50? Or what is 3 over 4 times 50? What do we get? 0.75 times 50 is 37.5. So 3 over 4 and is equal to 37.5. So what do we do to this 37.5? We're going to identify the number that is what? Equal to or first exceed 7.5. What number is that? What number is that? Is Fred
44. Oh no,
Right.
43, sorry.
43? Okay. So there's this one here. So we'll draw a line here. So what is our x? 43 itself. The FC, the number above that,
34.
34, correct. The FM,
9.
9. The L,
The L is 10. 10.5.
no, 30.5. So subtract a 0.5 from this number here.
Oh, yeah.
Then our height is 10.
10.
So you go substitute there. So here we found 30.5, and here 3/4 of n is 7.5. And now F was what? FC was 34. Is this one here. FM was 9 here. Our height was 10. So please don't touch this until you rectify issues here. So you do this, that's 7 minus 35. Okay, 7 minus 34 over 9 times 10, you get 34 point what? 34.83889. So that's how we find our Q3. Then like we did, the interquartile range is Q3 minus Q1. So the answer we found here, 34.83 minus Q1, 13.71. So the difference is called what? Our
Interquartile range.
interquartile range. So half of the interquartile range is called what? A semi-quartile deviation. Okay. Half of the quartile range is a semi-quartile deviation. So finally, to find the mode is simply the difference above over the difference below. So for this group data here, quickly, how do you find the mode? You identify the highest number here. Which one is the highest number? It is what? 14.
12.
Highest
Oh, 14.
frequency is 14, eh? Okay.
Yeah.
Then the difference above here is called D1. What is the distance between here and there? Quickly. 6. The distance from here to here, which is D2, is 2. In this very line, the lower bound is what? Is 11.
11.
So mode would be, okay, so this would be 10.5 plus the distance above, which is 6, over the sum of the distances, which is 8. So we are done with our mode. So I'll give you homework based on this. That's all. Highest number, the difference above is D1, difference below is D2. So you add them, that is the total there. Then our lower bound is 10.5. Thank you for your time. I'll send you your homework and I'll need that today. Have a good day. The formulas are here, all written down. I'll send you the video on the group.